special council meeting for the City of Lloydminster on Thursday, April 18th, to order at this time. This time we'll take a silent moment of personal reflection. First, I'll start before Councillor Buckingham. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Great, thank you. As a reminder, all members of council are obligated to declare conflict of interest or pecuniary interest as per section 133 of the Lloydminster Charter regarding any item on this agenda. I'll move on to approval of the agenda. I'm looking for direction from council to approve the agenda for this meeting. Councillor
That we approve the agenda for the special meeting dated April 18th.
Seconder? Councillor Fagin? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Moving on to the agenda. City Manager.
Good afternoon, Your Worship and Council, and thank you for taking time today to, administration appreciates the flexibility, to present 3.1 to 10 units purchased. So I'll ask Dave Henning to come forward from our operations department.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Dave.
So this is a request requisition, Operation 005-2019. It's a Sourcewell purchase that is going to a local supplier. So the recommendation is council approve the city enter into an agreement with Kenworth of Lloydminster, Alberta to secure two 2020 customized tandem axle plow trucks for the purchase price of $161,810 each, plus applicable taxes, and that the mayor and city clerk are authorized to sign and seal all necessary documents. The second recommendation, council approve the city enter into an agreement with Superior Trucks of Calgary, Alberta for the purchase and installation of the customized blades, gravel box, snow gates, and also the hydraulics into the cab required for the two 2020 customized tandem axle plow trucks at a price of $116,500 each, plus applicable taxes, and that the mayor and city clerk are authorized to sign and seal all necessary documents. Issue is existing snow removal is actually single axle units have exceeded their lifespan by 3 years and need to be replaced to ensure a safe and reliable fleet of snow removal equipment are available. Background, administration investigated several purchase programs for the purchase of two tandem axle plow trucks as a replacement for the two single axle plow trucks that have reached their life expectancy, and those are 2006 models. Sourcewell Cooperative Government and Municipal Purchase Pricing Program was able to leverage significant savings and advantages for the purchase of the two 2020 customized tandem axle plow trucks in Kenworth of Lloydminster, Alberta. This procurement method meets the requirements of the Canadian Free Trade Agreement and the New West Trade Partnership Trade Agreement. Fair, open, and transparent procurement of goods and services. The benefits of using the Sourcewell include the City of Lloydminster is securing 2 units as of with January 2018 pricing versus 2019 pricing, with an increase of $7,500 per unit. The units are ready, available, and will ship in time for additional custom work to be completed prior to the upcoming snow removal season. Dealer through Sourcewell is very upfront, and additional costs that may be incurred is helping reduce and eliminate those costs. The cost risks, not finding another unit that are customized to administration requirements, standards, and ready for additional spec work, and additional maintenance work required to the extended life of the existing units to ensure equipment is maintained and ready for the upcoming snow removal season. The two 2020 tandem axle plow trucks will require customization, which includes blades, gravel box, snow gates. Due to the design of the snowplow units and the ability to retrofit the plow trucks for the standard that the city currently owns. Administration is recommending that the customized equipment be purchased through a sole source company, Superior Trucks of Calgary, Alberta. Superior Trucks of Calgary, Alberta holds proprietary rights on the hydraulic system and the sanding units actually that we currently have. that is required for the standards, as well as being able to provide required snow gates with units. Furthermore, Superior Trucks can standardize and install customized equipment to meet administration requirements and specifications. They will provide a training program and ongoing refresher courses to city mechanics, allowing city staff the required training and ability to work and maintain on the equipment. And these can be some non-maintenance equipment sometimes. Options, council approve, the city enter into the agreement with Kenworth of Lloydminster, Alberta to secure two 2020 customized tandem plow trucks for the purchase price of $161,810 each, plus applicable taxes. The council approve the city enter into an agreement with Superior Trucks of Calgary, Alberta for the purchase of the required customization, blades, gravel, box, and gates at a price of $116,500 each. Third option, council provide direction to administration to gather further information and bring back to future council meeting. Delay of the award, that the city will not be able to secure the 2018 pricing for the two 2020 tandem axle plow trucks obtained through Sourcewell. $620,000 has been approved in the 2019 capital budget for the purchase of the two tandem units with the customization to be used for snow removal. The overall cost of the two units will be $556,620. Will create a savings of $63,300, $380 potential savings.
Thank you, David. Questions or comments, Council? Council Baker.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just to make sure that I understand it, and certainly, hopefully we all understand it, Sourcewell Cooperative Government and Municipal Purchasing Policy, that's our SUMA, that's a SUMA-run organization, and what they do is they go out and help municipalities with purchasing pricing, but our contract is with Kenworth, Lloydminster, and all the dealers got a chance to bid that could meet the specification.
Sorry, if you don't mind that I answer this question. Yes, actually, Sourcewell partners with our RMA, so we are currently members of that group as well. Sourcewell is based out of the United States, so RMA helps them to, I guess, govern their contracts, make sure they meet Canadian requirements. Basically, it's a program like SUMA, all the other purchasing programs, which is available to municipalities, and yes, they do tender out these bids publicly. They are posted on the same websites that we use, or that we are required to, according to the trade agreements.
Just to follow up, savings of $63,000 is pretty substantial, and certainly being a member of SUMA, which we have for 100 years, it gives the local and everybody else a chance to bid, but if they can go out and encourage manufacturing dealers to give your municipality a good deal because we're spending their taxpayer dollars, that's a good deal. I just wanted to make sure that I had that clear in my mind.
Yes,
Thank you.
that's correct, and that's their initiative, is to get the manufacturers to present the price, and they do all the legwork and everything for the municipalities.
The manufacturers obviously like to sell.
They do, and one advantage with this is by the equipment going to the local dealer, they know that it's staying in the community, they're servicing the community, it helps them also.
Great, thank you.
Council Torsi.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just because there's two items here. So the one, as far as using the group buying program, we've talked about that quite a bit, and I have a pretty good handle on, the process as far as that goes. But for the other one, I'm just curious about the sole source, because that one actually is a sole source, but we're saying that due to the equipment that it's already customized that we have otherwise, there's really only one type that will work with this. So otherwise it would cost additional costs to make our sanders or the other parts that we already have would not work as well if we went any other direction.
Oh, sorry. So I contacted two other dealerships that we have dealt with before, and they no longer deal in the snowgate aspect of the underbody plows. A lot of communities going away from it. And the dealer that we dealt with last year, I spoke to him, or 2 years ago, sorry. I spoke to him yesterday, and they no longer deal with him either. The dealer that has moved over to Superior Trucks did those for us before. Also, we use e-poke sanders, and what we're doing is we're running hydraulics right into the cab of the sander, so that if we do have a problem with our older units that are currently carrying the sanders, and we have 3 of those tandem sanders, if I have a unit that goes down for a couple of months because it's something we can't control, in half a day I can switch that over. Sanders are the main priority for winter. It's something that we can't rent excessively either.
Okay, but just to be clear, so we're basically saying it's sole source because there really only is one group that does this, not because we picked a favorite, let's
Oh,
say.
no.
So this is sole source because it's very specialized and it only works with our equipment based on these specific circumstances.
That's correct, and actually it's not even the company we dealt with 2 years ago, because the company of the e-poke sanders changed suppliers, and that's why we've actually went with them. Because of that.
Okay. So that makes sense to me as to why we would do that. I'm just curious though, the only other part of this is, so the old sanders that we're replacing, they were purchased in 2006?
No.
Or sorry, the old truck
Yes, that's correct.
was purchased in 2006?
Yep.
So then we're talking about a 13-year-old unit, so, just to make sure it's clear that this is, when we talk about it's over its expected lifespan, we're talking about its expected lifespan is 10 years and it's at 13 years. So we've already kicked the can down the road as long as we can. And we're not now at the point where, this was included in the budget this year because of the reason that, this has gone as far as it can go. But my only other question on top of that is, will these older units, are they being traded in, sold, or being able to use as backups if one of these units goes down? For any reason.
Yes, we could definitely do that. We do plan on keeping one for summer use for our spray patches and stuff like that. And we will assess them in August when we have to do the safeties on them. And I'll phone the sales companies, the auction companies out of Edmonton, and they will come down and give us a price on it. And yes, if it's worth selling, they will be. The problem with keeping some trucks around that are old is if they're not ran for 4 or 5 months at a time, you always seem to have issues when you do try to use it.
Fair enough. Okay, thank you.
Councilor Dodge.
Thanks, Worship. I just want to confirm, because it's almost like a deal that's too good to be true. We're buying a 2020 at a 2018 price, and
Yes, they've extended their price range.
yeah,
So what happens is, like the major companies, they will set up their portfolio for how many trucks they plan on using over the years and stuff like that. And the local dealer has said that this 2018 pricing does end very, very shortly though.
okay.
And then it will automatically go to today as a matter of
Today's
fact.
the last day we can do this.
Yeah,
All right,
so-
fair enough.
Yeah, but they've stayed with it, and it will go to the next year's pricing on that.
So this gives true meaning to time sensitive. That's for the reason for today's meeting. Councilor Monroe, and then Councilor Baker.
Sorry, the answer might just be in this last line. So we budgeted $620,000?
That's correct.
That's correct?
Yep.
So the math is coming in just under
5, 6.
5, 6.
And,
So for,
yeah, so,
we're saving about $60,000.
yes, and if the pricing goes off today as stated, then it's getting me an extra charge for that also, because of the increase as of today. Well, sorry.
Right.
And one other note is, these prices here that we've got from the factory has already changed our adjustments on the truck also. So we have 3 items we have to change on the truck. We have to allow proper clearance so the underbody plows can operate underneath the frame. So we customize the fuel tanks. They're not as big around, but they're longer. Battery boxes are put up inside the frame, air tanks, hydraulics to the full free flow of the underbody plows considered reversible with road construction.
Councilor.
So any revenue that we may get off of auctioning off our old trucks would go back into this, okay,
Go back into this.
just to help reduce the cost?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Councillor Baker.
Your worship, I missed one question. I think it's a misprint. Page 2 of the report said issue, existing snow removal tandem units have exceeded the expected lifespan of 3 years. It's under issue.
Yeah.
They're 3 years.
That's-
I'm sorry, they're 3 years past the intended lifespan.
Oh, I thought,
So we're.
No, we have a,
oh, sorry.
when we bought the units, for the work that they do, bouncing off curbs and animals and everything, they get shook up pretty bad, so we put a 10-year lifespan on them, and we're 3 years over that.
I was thinking
Suggested that.
3-year lifespan. I thought, whoa, okay.
No, I won't.
My mistake.
So I think the update there, Councillor, is that in that, there was a typo error. They're existing single axle, and we're going to full tandem axle trucks, so the direction that operations with it is brought forward from administration is that we'd like to go to tandem axle trucks.
I see that, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it is. It is.
When, just a little background if you'd like, but when we first bought these singles, we ran tandems before. We had trouble retaining operators for the Class 3 license. They
You have trouble over religions.
I have no idea how this tandem, single, whatever works.
Yeah.
So do you require a different license because it's a tandem axle?
Yes, you do. You would class
So-
a Class 3 license with an air brake endorsement.
Are all of our drivers currently
All but one.
all but one? Okay,
Yeah.
but we're gonna bring them up to par.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. No, I just wasn't sure if
Yeah,
we were
I'm
having
not-
to train like 15 people and what the
No.
cost would be for that, for them to obtain their class 3, but if it's,
We have other tandems in the fleet, like our sanding units are all tandems. We have one other plow unit that's a tandem curve unit. So
perfect.
Any other questions or comments?
Pretty straightforward.
It appears to be. Well, thank you very much, Dave and Mika, for bringing this forward and bringing this to council's attention and the urgency of it. So,
and thank you for holding me.
so I'll look to council for direction. Oh, sorry, Councillor Buckingham, my apologies. Is there any questions that you have?
No, all very well explained to me, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thanks very much, City Clerk. Council, for bringing that to my attention. When I look over and I don't see the spot, I don't think about it. I'm not used to that. All right, I will look for direction from council on item 3.1. Councilor Monroe.
That council approved the city enter into an agreement with Kenworth of Woodminster, Alberta to secure 2020 customizable tandem axle plow trucks for the purchase price of $161,810 each plus applicable taxes, and that the mayor and city clerk are authorized to sign and seal all necessary documents, and that council, can this be?
We can do it as a separate motion. Okay, let's do that as two separate motions. Secondly, Councilor Baker. Any further discussion before I call for the question? Councilor Buckingham, any comments?
No, I will be voting in favor.
All right, all in favor? I think we know how we vote. Any opposed? Carried. Councilor Monroe.
And that council approved the city enter into an agreement with Superior Trucks of Calgary, Alberta for the purchase of the required customizations, blades, gravel boxes, and snow gates at a price of $116,500 each plus applicable taxes, and that the mayor and city clerk are authorized to sign and seal all necessary documents.
Second, Councilor Thorson. Councilor Buckingham, do you have any questions or comments?
Oh, all good.
All right. Any other questions or comments at this end? Not seeing any. All in favor? How do you vote, Councilor Buckingham?
In favor.
Carried. At this time, I believe that will take care of all the business of the day. I will look to council for a motion to adjourn.
Sure.
Councilor Baker, good today. And, thank you very much. Thanks, Councilor Buckingham.
Have a great day, everyone.